Hawks fans, welcome back. How do you doing? This right here is a hot season, not only for the summer, but for the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm telling you, these trade rumors are escalating as a report reveals another wild trade, another wild situation that could evolve around the Atlanta Hawks regarding a star player. We also have multiple updates right here to give you guys. Walter J. Pollard, Chris Tipmore, Hawks Digest, take off your shoes, leave on your socks, because we are back at you, baby.
What's going on, Chris? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain at all, man. It's a great time to be a Hawks fans because, hey, our Hawks are making moves.
Yes, they are.
Chef Saleh is in the kitchen, whipping it up really
yeah.
nice. So
That might
I'm
not be a
enjoying
bad
myself.
name. That might not be a bad nickname for him, Chef Saleh.
Yeah, Chef
I
Saleh
know a lot of
with the
people.
filet.
Yeah, it has a ring to it. A lot of the people that do kind of mispronounce his name, there's because we've gotten so used to saying his name one specific way, and so now we're on the flip side of him actually. I heard it on 92.9 The Game. Of course, that's the flagship station of the Atlanta Hawks here in Atlanta. I previously worked there from time to time, but I was listening and they had asked him. It was like, "How do you pronounce your specific name?"
Right.
And he said, "Onsi Salah, correct? Or Saleh?"
Yeah, Saleh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So he explaining his name and kind of giving a rundown for all of us is awesome. But dude, how do you? Okay, Chris, I got a question. How do you feel about the Atlanta Hawks getting the grade of an A? Or you know what I'm saying, for what they've done in the draft, what they've done prior to the draft. I feel as though going back to the loss in the play-in tournament started it all for the Hawks. But how do you feel about the report I had did a few days ago, the Hawks getting the grade of an A in the area of, the draft and things of that such?
Hey, man, I'm ecstatic. And I got to say, man, hey, hashtag Saleh with the filet.
For the A.
You know,
Yeah,
what I'm
sure,
saying? For
yeah.
real, man, because he's been cooking, man. I know some people, still are skeptical about the moves. And I understand that because with all due respect, the Atlanta faithful doesn't have like a whole lot to, look forward to just overall. So I understand like there's still skeptical, there's still some skeptics out there about, the moves that have been made. Will it work? And of course, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to Hawks Digest. I seen that you pulled up our
My
subscriber count.
apologies. I started bouncing around, but let's
Oh
do
no, it's
step to
cool,
that real
man. Of
quick. My
course,
bad, brother.
we got to give the people, our gratitude because hey man, without you guys, there would be no us. So really appreciate you guys for getting us as far as you've gotten us so far. And we're going, beyond, man. We're going beyond this thing because it's all about me and Walter. We are big Hawks fans.
For
Shoot,
sure.
man, we're from the city.
Yeah.
So you already know it's all about it, man. It's an old school shirt, man. I went and I got an old school Trae Young and John Collins shirt still on right here. So it's not just this year, it's not just last year, it's yesteryear, man. We really Hawks fans
I'll
here.
tell you right now, that number there has grown even further. I think it's at like 22. I think it's got the 2200 or something like that. So again, I had expectations for you guys to get us to that at least just right before the season started. Did not see that happening right after the draft and things of that such. So major shouts out to the fans. But Chris,
let's get into the report though, bro. Because we got some stuff.
Yes, we do. We do. Let me go ahead and bring it up real quick. Hold on one second. Oh my God. Here we go. My bad. Yeah. But it is free agency, of course. But the report that Chris is talking about, if I can actually bring it back up.
It's on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way, right? But shoot, first of all, let's get into free agency for just a second. Be that has gone on and things of that such. We was able to bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker from the Timberwolves. We were able to bring in Luke Kennard from Memphis Grizzlies. How do you feel as far as the free agency part of things, bringing these guys into the Hawks organization? How do you feel about the team as it stands right now?
I feel like we're in a good spot. The Atlanta Hawks, they shot under 36% from the three last year. And you brought in three guys that all shot at least 38% or better from the three last year. In Alexander Walker, 38%. Porzingis 42%. And then you also had Luke Kennard that was 43%, but it's been 45% in the last 3 years on average.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know what I'm saying? You see that the Hawks and Chef Saleh is definitely, you know what I'm saying, prioritizing
right.
shooting, something that we need to get better at. And, you know, also, you know, we're going to get better defensively, I believe, as well. So, man, I'm happy, man, because one thing that we know, Trae Young, he would get it to the guys on the perimeter. They always would knock it down. But when you bring in these three guys who can all shoot the three, in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, in Luke Kennard, in Kristaps Porzingis, as long as everyone stays healthy, man, the sky's the limit for the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, that's the biggest question. But hold on, family. It's the biggest question for everybody. Everyone has to stay healthy, not just the Atlanta Hawks. It's just it feels like we've been snake bitten since 2021. That's the only thing about us.
And I mean, looking at this lineup again, I went over it just briefly in my updates. Again, looking at this lineup, when healthy, or if they maintain their health or whatnot, this is a major squad that and still the only issue I have with, and there's no issue with Kobe Buffkin, but we still haven't seen it. And unfortunately, due to injury, like you've pointed out, we haven't been able to see him at his best, backing Trae Young up. That's actually the only thing that has not been fully addressed by the Hawks so far during this, free agency period, where, we need someone that could properly back up Trae Young. Now, because actually, Chris, I want to bring something up. The Luke Kennard thing, I had someone come to me after watching our videos, and they were just talking about the Luke Kennard trade, saying that they didn't think that was a good trade. Be that he has been injury prone, be that he has dealt with being moved from team to team to team to team. And
they feel like Luke is a journeyman.
Yeah, Luke is a journeyman. They feel as though they've overpaid him, and I say this is a high risk, a low risk, high reward, because you only have him for 1 year. The Hawks also have the money right now to make these kind of deals, to pay these players as much as they're paying them, to only be here for Luke Kennard is only going to be here for a year. If he can expand it even further or get re-signed, sure. But I don't see him being here longer than just a year. He can shoot extremely well. You dig what I'm saying?
That's what you're paying for, though. That's right. And my thing is, and first of all, salute to whomever you're speaking to, and hopefully they watch this video and I can give some clarity and maybe persuade them to maybe feel differently, because Luke Kennard, 1 year for 11 mil, right? Now, I do understand what you're trying to say. Like, dang, all that for Luke Kennard, he's not even good on defense.
Right.
Yeah, he's not even good on defense, but what you're paying for is you're paying for that 43% that I was telling you about.
Right.
That 45% from three. You're paying for his sniper ability. You're not necessarily paying for him to be on defense. You're paying for when Trae breaks down the defense, gets into the lane, Luke Kennard going to be in the corner, on the wing, at the top, and ready to knock down those shots. That's what you're paying for, and you had to also outbid other teams. Three other teams wanted Luke Kennard, not just the Atlanta Hawks. So you have to outbid teams,
right?
And you also have to think about the market. Look at some of these deals that some guys are getting that you look at 2 years, 3 years, and you're just looking like, he got paid that? He got paid that? But it's not about what we think about that player. It's the market. Through every line of sports, whatever the market gets reset at, whether we like it or not, that's the market.
Right, exactly.
We can't do nothing about that.
And that's what I was trying to convey to them, was just look at the move and not necessarily the person. But I know that you had brought it up. We wanted to get into it. I know I had to segue really quickly, but the trade rumors are escalating, and this is coming off of the draft. This is coming off of also the start of agency. Yeah, free agency.
Hey, I see you.
At the start of free agency. So with all of that, the trade, I thought that with the moves the Hawks have been making, the trade rumors would have, calmed down, subsided. We were getting comfortable with the team that we have. Almost, I've even saw some people say super team, going as far as saying that. And now all of a sudden, now there's a trade rumor that we could possibly bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo, or could you explain that even further? Because we got the best chances or something like that.
Yeah, we have the best chances at landing Giannis Antetokounmpo, man, and it's crazy because you make some moves in free agency,
Yeah.
so you improve your team. Now they're saying you're the best betting odd favorite of getting them, and but if the Hawks are, I mean, it was dropped by Evan Sidery on Twitter,
Okay.
and he was saying that the Atlanta Hawks have the best odds if Giannis asks to move on from Milwaukee. The Atlanta Hawks has the best chances of gaining him. And I'm just like, oh man, it's like now you want to try to link us to Giannis, like,
Right.
since
That's
solely.
convenient.
And the thing about it is, like, I seen a framework to where we would give up like 5 first-round picks, Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu for Giannis. And I'm
Mm-mm.
just like, that is a crazy haul. I
That's
think
not worth.
that's
That's not worth that much.
yeah, man. It's because you will pretty much lose everything that you just gained as far as draft capital. You will lose the 2 firsts from next year, 27, 20. I think it was 30 and 2031.
Mm.
So it's just like you giving up you pretty much your future to try to bank on winning now.
Right now. And
Yeah,
you've
and
already got somebody that is over. I don't want to say over the hump, but he's over the age of 30 in Kristaps Porzingis.
right.
I
Who
don't.
was on the expiring contract,
Right.
so it's like we already have other options, other questions that we have to answer. Like, okay, you bring in Giannis, so what about Dyson Daniels' deal?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's eligible for an extension. What's his deal going to look like? Are you going to have the funds for it? Et cetera. It's just the Atlanta Hawks. They've built a foundation, family, and I
Yeah.
just don't want them to end up unearthing that just because of an opportunity at Giannis. And it may work, it may not. Look at the New York Knicks. They went all in, and where did they end up?
You know,
No.
you know what? After talking to you, because beforehand we were doing the pre-production, and I said, well, maybe this night might not be a bad idea, be that we have all of the pieces. But listening to what you said and looking at the optics of it all, no. I'm
It's
not
too
getting
much, bro.
and for what they're
And,
asking
and
for.
Milwaukee is desperate too. That's my thing.
Yeah,
Is
they
Milwaukee
are.
is desperate. They have no draft picks,
Right.
so they're going to try to get every draft pick they can from you, every player that they can. They're going to ask for everything. So and it's just no point of blowing up this team when you have a better team than you do last year right now on paper, even without Terrence Mann, even without Dre and
And
all that
last year
stuff.
they were expected to only win 35 games and we won 40. So
Right, right.
already
And
they've
we were hurt.
overachieved, right? And we were hurt. So imagine with a good team, what the Atlanta Hawks would have. But with these
Oh, it's
trade
not the only
rumors,
thing though.
but what would it cost?
Oh
And
shoot,
that's
man!
the
I just
thing
told
that a
you
lot
your
of
whole
people, and
team.
we went over it. That's a lot of what we're talking about. I feel as though, again, going back to it, I like that the team is being built organically. I do like how we're set up right now. Chris, before we got just enough time for one last word really quickly. Give us your last second opinion about the Giannis thing, how we feel about it. Because honestly, he's going to have to sit put. The way that the league is wrapping up right now, if he's not headed to where LeBron is going, which is probably Cleveland, then I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah, man. It's to be honest with you again, I would love to have Giannis, man. And I understand the injury concerns with JJ. They are real concerns. So anytime anybody says, what about JJ's health? I have nothing to say because what about it? But at the same time, I just feel like the foundation is there. The Atlanta Hawks are trending up in the right direction. Giannis would be great. But if you don't win a championship this year or next year, it's going to fail. It's going to be a failure. If you straight up, you
Simple
trade
and
for
plain.
Giannis, you have to be in the NBA Finals or it is a failure. I don't want to hear nothing about no Eastern Conference. I don't want to hear nothing about no Eastern semis. Finals or nothing
bust.
if you make that move.
Yep.
Right.
Thank you so
And
much,
last
my
thing,
man.
and last thing is because you mentioned Cleveland, Larry Nance Jr. Unfortunately, we lost him to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He signed a deal with those guys. So that's another thing that you have to think about too. That was a guy that we possibly want to bring back, but unfortunately he goes to Cleveland. So now we have to see about other depth pieces to see exactly where we want to go. Honestly, it was going to get a little crowded with him and Kristaps anyway.
And Asa
And we
Newell
have to,
and
and
yeah.
Issa
So it's
Newell,
just it's
Moji.
yeah, right.
So we'll
But
see
Chris,
exactly what happens.
But Chris, I appreciate everything, man, and we'll definitely keep diving into this story because not just this, but other trade rumors because something is going to be coming down the pike. But I feel as though if the Hawks can maintain what they are doing, stick to the plan that they've got going on, we'll be in a good position. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Chris Tipmore. Yeah, this is Chris, not this guy, but this is Chris Tipmore, and we're gonna be signing out, y'all. Peace.
Peace, guys.